everybody, welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts. And what we are continuing to do is to take a look back at some of the older episodes where we discuss different YouTube channels and different shows and seeing how they have progressed over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So today what we did was we thought we would take a look at Mindseed TV. We thought we would look at one of their latest ones. Sorry, we've got Pickles on his toenails running around, so I am going to try to edit those out as much as possible. But if you hear funky noises in the background, and we've got dogs that just will not sit still today. Must have something to do with the liver treats we're cooking up for them. I think it's making them crazy. Anyway, the episode that we found is called What We Found in This Haunted Church Will Terrify. Oh, if that isn't the biggest overstatement. Honestly, I had a pretty good open mind when I started watching it, but by the end of this episode, I was furious.
Yes.
So, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I love their production.
Their production is really good.
You know,
the opening and everything.
Casey has got it down to the T.
They do. I mean, it is so professional.
Yeah.
It really is very well done, to the opening vignettes, to the, when they put up their big things, their first steps and their bad omens and this and it's very well done.
Yeah.
Very well done. So no qualms about their production abilities. Yeah. They do a really good job. Yeah. And they even had a commercial.
Yeah.
For their new merchandise that they are creating. They're even designing it themselves. Yeah. And I'm sure that they do well with that because they have a lot of fans. 1.88 million subscribers to these guys. Yeah. And I'm sorry to say some of you 1.88 million are not going to like some of what we have to say.
Yeah.
I don't care. This is my show, damn it. Yeah. No, we have reasons for some of the opinions that we're going to say, and that's fine. So their first steps were the walkthrough, and as they pull up, there's two buildings side by side. There's one that has lights on that they say is the church or something, and they're not supposed to go over there. They don't have access to that site.
Yeah.
They have access to the one on the left, which is the old derelict sort of building.
Yeah.
Now, they keep calling this a church. I do not see any remnants of a church. To me, it is a school.
Yeah.
And it's probably an old Christian school.
Monastery.
Well, not necessarily. It's a school. I mean, there were probably kids there.
Yeah.
It's a school. And lots of churches, especially back in the day, had schools attached to them. So if there isn't even a church anymore, maybe the church is long gone or they're just not even showing it in the video. Yeah. This is a school. This is probably a Catholic school or something. They haven't said even what faith it was. I'm going to assume Catholic.
Yeah.
But there's lots of different ones. I mean, the rooms that we saw had chalkboards and stuff in it. That's a school.
Yeah.
So, and then they talked about a nunnery. It could have been a nunnery. And I'm sorry, nunneries don't have chalkboards and kids' toys. So, no. I mean, this was a school. It was a school. But that's okay. So, they start off with this walkthrough. And they got this SLS camera. And we're not over fond of the SLS cameras, but for the most part, these guys seem to know how they work. Yeah. He even said at one point, oh, look, it's trying to outline that table over there.
Yeah.
So they seem to understand what the SLS is, although, to be fair, they still aren't using it correctly. Like you said, SLSs are designed to be static.
Yes.
They don't move.
No.
And you move them around, they're jiggling and jerking, and they're trying to map where they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Well, that's all you got to say. That tech is not designed to be walked around and
try to find ghosts. How do you find a ghost with an SLS? Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah. Anyway, then they have their caption Bad Omens, which
A dead bird.
Well,
it was a bad omen.
And rat shit everywhere, to be in quotes.
Yeah.
So the place is abandoned and derelict. There's probably holes everywhere. There has to have been because, first of all, rats. There's some windows missing upstairs. There's dead birds, which does not mean anything. It just means birds got in, couldn't find a way out.
Yeah.
And we saw at least 2 pigeons, live pigeons in there. So
big ones.
Big healthy pigeons, man. Yeah. So they could make some noise. Yeah. So there's life inside. Yeah. Didn't see any rats. Inside. We didn't see any rats, but we know they're there because they saw the excrement. Yeah. And when they were downstairs, they hear the heavy thuds above. Yeah. Well, derelict building. Rats. You're going to hear noises. Plus you have wildlife in the building. Yeah. So, yes, there are going to be sounds. These guys, they hear something. They took them ages to go upstairs to explore and do any investigating. And the one thing that I didn't like was the background music. Background music does not need to be in a video when you are investigating because it covers up sounds. Yeah. Now, as you pointed out, when they would hear the heavy thuds upstairs and stuff,
there was no music.
They turned off the music. Yeah. Yeah. But there's no reason for the music, period. No. It's an investigation. Yeah. Turn it off. Because you never know who your listener might be that might catch something that you missed. Yeah. And oops, look at that. In the messages below, we missed that. Yeah. It happens. So don't put the music on. Please don't put that music on. Music and sound effects do not need to be in a paranormal investigative video.
Videos any more exciting.
No, but they're trying to ramp up that feeling. And why?
Yeah, why? But why? If you think that we think that that you have to have something going every second. Yeah. Every turn, you don't. Yeah. We've been in investigations where it's been nothing. Yep. We went back to places and still got the same result. Yep. Nothing.
Yep. Ghosts do not dance on command.
Yes.
Even if you want them to, they don't.
And even if you play funky music for them, they will not dance.
Oh, yeah. So then they go down in the basement and, oh, Christ. First of all, they're just freaked out that everything is concrete down there. Well, it's an underground basement, below ground level. It's going to be concrete. And there's little rooms with, oh my God, what were they doing down here?
They were looking for places for shackles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Clearly. You seen the places where
there were shelves.
There should have been shelves at one time, but no.
It could have been shackles. Yeah. They want something.
The kids' arms are 12 feet long.
Yeah, they never took that into consideration.
Well, no, because they're stupid.
I know. So, and this basement had a lot of doors that had, like those barn doors on the tracks that go back and forth. And, way back in the day, those were probably more convenient.
And cheap.
But there's scratches on them, so that meant the kids had to have been scratching, trying to get out.
Bad kids. You're being bad, you're going to go
You're going to the basement. Yeah. To me, it looked like someone had a pen or a pencil and was scratching on the door. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
What kids do.
Let children do that. Yep. You're not supposed to do that. Well, I'm not doing it as they're doing it.
Stop on the table.
So, yeah. So, it was just a lot of assumptions. They're trying to get people to think this was a bad place. And, we don't know. Maybe there were some bad things that happened there because it was a different time. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that this place had children shackled and locked in rooms and stuff. I really don't like the jump to assume without knowing the history of the place. Yeah. And that really bugged me. Then they found this little, very small area, like it was like a tunnel. And it was definitely falling apart kind of thing. But it was concrete and everything, so they could get through it. And they did, followed it through to see where it came out. And it comes out to another sort of basement area, which was in much better condition. And this is another room where they found a concrete room. It had windows, but the door had been removed and there was a blanket kind of pulled, that had been tacked up and was sort of pulled off to the side. Now this blanket was in very good condition, no dust or cobwebs or anything on it. Yeah. So it was fairly new. Yeah. But of course it had to have been a room where they were keeping people. Yeah. Because it was concrete. Yeah. Yeah. They did not pull the freaking cardboard that had been sort of taped up against one window that was loose on the bottom. Didn't pull that out to see if maybe there was an open window there and maybe someone was climbing through and maybe staying in there. I mean, all through this, I'm thinking, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? There's a window, a light switch. And I said, turn on the lights. Try the lights. And you're laughing at me.
Well, yeah.
Try the lights. But how many episodes of different investigations have we seen where they say it's an abandoned building, but it had electricity? Yeah. And it had running water. And then there was a person living there. You know, like, come on. So, that was really annoying me. Yeah. And then they go through the basement, and then they go upstairs, and they're in a house with a sofa, and the space heater was turned on. Yeah. All the lights were on. Yeah. But they kept on going. And they said, oh, maybe this is the place next door where we're not supposed to be. But they kept on going. Yeah. That made me so flippin' mad. And I kept waiting for someone to come around and say, what the hell are you doing in my house? Yeah. You know, you're not supposed to be here.
What are you doing in here?
Yeah. You know? They kept going. They went through the entire house, like all the levels of this house. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, this place obviously is under repair, yeah. But it has electricity. It has, you know, a microwave in the kitchen. It's got somebody's living there.
Yeah, a caretaker.
A caretaker, yeah, very likely. And they're going through it. When they were clearly told they didn't have access to that house. Yeah. They kept going through. Yeah. And so then at the end of this, they go out the main door, and they confirm that's the house that they don't have access to. Right. Oops, okay, oops. Yeah. Oops. They go back to the one that they do have access to, and then I really started getting irritated. Like, if I wasn't already irritated, I'm getting more so. Because every time you turn, I mean, they get in that one basement room that looked like it probably was a pantry or something. Right. The one with the bolts in the walls from where there was probably shelves. Yeah. There were pictures of Elvis on the thing. Like a whole bunch of different pictures of Elvis Presley. And why are there pictures of Elvis in this room? Oh. Well, somebody brought it in, obviously. Yeah, somebody's a fan. And yeah, some kid was playing while mom and dad were working at something. So they're playing with a bunch of the junk that they found. It was all this assumption. This assumption. Yeah. So it just irritated me. So 40 minutes in, took 40 minutes before they finally got around to actually investigating, because all of this other stuff was their walkthrough, their pre-investigation walkthrough.
Yeah. And, you know...
okay, you know what?
You couldn't get there a day before. So you do a walkthrough, but you know, you don't go where you're not supposed to go.
No. I really thought this whole thing, if this had been an urban exploration video, it would have been just fine. Yeah. But they're turning it into this ghost investigation. Yeah. So 40 minutes in, they finally start their EVP session, and they get nothing. Yeah. Nothing. And they do, I don't know how many little blasts. I think they said about 10, something like that. And they finally get something like maybe a whisper or a breath or something that you couldn't make out. It wasn't clear. It might have been...
Could have been a window.
It could have been anything. Anyway, at least they didn't try to say it said something. Yeah. Because it was really nothing. Yeah. So then they decide, okay, what we need to do... they bring out this what is that thing? It's like a pyramid. I think that's what it's called, the
Yeah.
pyramid thing.
Yeah.
Where if you're on one side of the room and you move, you get the green. If you're on the other side, you'll get the red.
Red.
And so they tell the spirits to indicate whether it's green or red. So they start asking questions and something about wanting. Do you want us to separate so that you're not so intimidated by two of us together? And of course it says, it lights up green for yes. But
you couldn't see them.
That's right.
You couldn't see them.
I mean, they could be on the other side of the periphery of the camera, waving over on that side to set off the thing. Yeah. You couldn't tell.
You couldn't see.
That's the only problem with when they show it just so precisely and not with the surrounding whatever.
That's what, trickery.
Trickery, yeah. Which I think is what happened here, because they wanted to break up into two separate locations.
Yeah.
One location being that concrete room that was probably the pantry.
Yeah.
And the other one, the living room in the house next door where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah. That's wrong.
And you can't tell me they went through the tunnel again to get there, because the guy, Colton? The other one.
Yeah.
I don't even know what their names are at this point. I don't care. He had all his equipment. He had a big camera. He had a big microphone stand and stuff. And, so he's not going to carry all that through that tight little tunnel, because he was bitching the last time about how hard it was to carry the camera through there. So they went through the front door and into the living room of somebody's home where they didn't have permission to be.
Yeah.
No. Just no.
And this is what gives ghost hunters and such a bad name, because you were told not to go there.
Yeah, you don't have permission for this building.
You have permission for this building, not this building.
Yeah.
And if you went to the building, you should have backed your ass out.
Yeah.
And
after the first time, knowing that they weren't supposed to be there, you don't go back.
Yeah.
You don't go back.
You don't go upstairs.
Oh, they went through the entire building.
Yeah.
Through the entire house.
Yeah.
No. You knew you weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah.
And at the very, very end of all of this, because they didn't get any EVPs, they got no EVPs, nothing. They said, oh, for sure there's something going on there.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. The place isn't haunted.
Yeah.
Not a frickin' thing happened there.
No.
You
don't know. Like I said, ghosts don't dance on command.
That's true. But you can't say based on what they found that night that place is haunted, that there's something going on there.
You can't say that.
No.
You could say, maybe something happened. Or,
we heard some sounds.
Yeah, but they didn't hear
They heard
anything.
nothing. Just some unidentifiable noises from upstairs.
Probably birds and rats.
That was the rats and the birds.
Yeah.
They got nothing. They can't say that there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't say you had kids in the basement.
Kids tied up to the walls, locked indoors.
Yeah, shackled
to the walls.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
The churches has got such a bad name. And I'm not a holy roller by any means.
But this only makes it worse.
And
I truly hope the people who own this site will see this video and realize they were in your house, or your caretaker's house or whatever, and give them supreme shit for doing that.
Yeah.
It's to me that's just so disrespectful.
Yeah, and and more and more I'm thinking, that.
Is this not the group that was also accused of renting out Airbnbs to fake content?
Yeah, him and oh my gosh.
So this is the same group?
Same group, yeah.
Yeah. So it's an old building. They're trying to make everybody convinced it's haunted.
Yeah. And
it may not be.
Yeah. And clearly, I think every building over 100 years old, especially at church.
May have something going on.
Dead people going in and out, services.
But this was a school.
Yeah, but the building next door where he was.
But again, that didn't look like a church. Of course, it was renovated. Who knows, right? But, I mean, it's obviously old enough that there's holes in the ceilings and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But they went all the way up to the attic, which is obviously being renovated right now, because there is fresh scaffolding up there, fresh beams, and, the framing, that's the word I'm looking for.
Framing.
Fresh framing in. So, I mean, they went through the entire place.
Yeah.
The entire place. That's crazy. Crazy. So, I'm really not impressed with Mindseed TV. I think it was... their production might be really good, but their ethics are really bad.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to watch them again. I'm very, very unimpressed. I think we liked them the first time.
We did. And,
But that was based on...
Again, it was based on, production.
And whatever we saw that first time. Yeah, I'm not impressed. Anybody that will break the rules just to get some clicks and views and likes and... No, I have no respect.
Yeah.
No respect now. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
So
all out of fucks.
I have no more fucks to give. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. So I got a little fired up, didn't I?
And it's true. You
it's just the permission part of it that really pissed me off the most.
Yeah, and it makes our field look bad. Every time people take by themselves, the rules don't apply to me.
Yeah.
It makes us all look bad.
It does. And to try some of those assumptions, to assume that they had kids shackled to the wall, to assume that they were being...
Where the fuck would you get that? And
to assume that these
the arms had to be
far apart,
5 feet apart.
But the scratches on the doors, those must be they're from low to the ground, little kids. Of course they were. They had markers and things, and they were scratching.
Yeah,
because that's what kids
do. Their names and.
I'm just so disgusted.
What happens when you can't write your name? You scribble.
You scratch and you scribble. Yeah. And who knows what era those happened in either. Yeah. The barn door, the sliding barn doors, who knows when those were installed.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know.
They haven't used those in...
Well, they're pretty handy when you think about it.
Yeah,
but depending on what that building was used for. We didn't even get a history, really, so who knows? Who knows how old those doors are?
And
I'm just very disappointed.
I'm happy that they didn't invent stuff for the video.
Yeah. They didn't make up evidence, that's true. But instead they just made all kinds of assumptions.
Yeah, and
oh, for sure there's something going on.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. Yeah. Not based on this. Yeah. So whether the place is haunted or not, there's no proof there.
Yeah.
To me, I couldn't call it haunted.
No, I wouldn't call it.
I would have to go back for another night.
Yeah.
Or a day even, when you can see what's going on. Investigations don't have to be at night.
No.
And I hate it when people think that it has to be. Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
The only reason why we do it at night is shadows.
It's quieter. There's less chance of shadows from the outside interfering. Yeah. Less chances for noises from the outside interfering. Yes. But ghosts don't just come out at night.
Yeah.
They're out all the time. We know that. We've seen.
I hear.
Yeah. Oy! So there you go. You got us both fired up.
Yeah.
And would I watch Mindseed TV again? No.
No.
I've lost respect. No respect.
Yeah.
None. Not a zip. So that's it, folks. Please, if you have anything to say or to add, or you want to yell at us, go ahead. You are welcome to leave your opinion, and we want you to leave your opinion about what you think please, based on this episode, I don't want to hear that you think these are the greatest guys in the world because of episode 2000 and something from last year. On this episode, please. And if you like them a lot, that's great. More power to you. If you don't like them, tell us why. You know, you don't have to rely just on our opinion.
Yeah.
Although you'd be wise to. Anyways, guys, I hope you do have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are in this great wide world.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, we did that last week. All right, take care, everybody.
Happy haunting.
Happy haunting. Bye now.